I am gonna become the woman of my dreams this year. I don't know about you guys, but I am so tired of starting the beginning of every year saying this is gonna be my year, you know, 2022 is gonna be my year, 2021 is gonna be my year, and then the holidays roll around and you look around at what the last year brought you and you are incredibly disappointed. I know that I've been finding myself in that position for years now and always beating myself up, wondering what I did wrong, how can I improve for next year? And over the last couple of months, I've done a lot of reflecting on what I want to do differently in my life, how I want to change the way that I move through life in order to finally say that I have become the woman of my dreams. But before we keep going into today's video, I just wanted to say, just in case you're new here, hi, my name is Caitlin, and on this channel we focus on building your dream life and building your dream closet. We talk about all things fashion, beauty, travel, femininity, and mindset, and overall just embracing the soft life while still achieving our goals. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and join our community by clicking the subscribe button down below. I would absolutely love to have you here, and feel free to go ahead and follow me over on my Instagram, which is at Caitlin Mahina. Over on my Instagram, I focus a little bit more on fashion than I do here on YouTube, but Instagram is also a way that I really love to talk to you guys. So if you want to talk to me about anything that I talk about in this video or just anything else in general, feel free to DM me over on Instagram or comment down below. And if you're already a subscriber of mine, you might be looking at the title of this video and watching this video and thinking to yourself, this is different from what she's been putting on YouTube and social media lately, and that is true. Like I said, I've been reflecting recently and I've just realized that I don't only want to be talking about fashion on my social medias. I don't only want to be talking about travel. A huge part of my life that I have not really talked about on social media is that I am someone who is constantly striving to be the best version of myself. You know, I have goals, I have dreams. I also like, you know, the finer things in life. And I think a lot of you who are watching this video can probably agree. And I think it's nice to talk about fashion and style, but it's gotten to a point on my social media channels where I feel like I just am really talking about more shallow things, which is fine. I obviously clearly love getting dressed up and all the girly things, but I also want to talk more about how to get to the point where you are happy with your life outside of just, you know, physical items and fashion and clothing. I really just want to talk more on my channel about femininity and goal setting and mindset and improving ourselves and learning and living a luxurious lifestyle, which has always been a huge part of my channel, but more than just physical items. How can we live a luxurious lifestyle with just the way that we move through life? And I have decided that 2023 is going to be different for me. I am going to completely reinvent myself in 1 year in a way that is actually achievable for everyone and fun and exciting. And I really wanted to share this journey here on my channel instead of just doing it on my own and then maybe telling you guys about it later. So this is actually going to become an ongoing sort of series on my channel. I don't really have a name for it or anything, but every month for the month of 2023, I'm going to address different topics about how I'm achieving my dream life or living a luxurious life outside of fashion. And so again, if that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and click the subscribe button down below, because I have never felt so intrinsically, you know, excited, motivated, passionate about content that I'm planning to upload onto this channel, and I would just love for you to join me on this journey. So yes, this is going to be a little bit of a refresh on this channel. Don't worry if you are subscribed to me for fashion and beauty and lifestyle and all that good stuff. I will definitely still be talking about that, but I'm gonna be approaching it from more of a how to achieve certain things, like how to achieve your dream wardrobe, how to find beauty from within yourself instead of just makeup, like how to live a life that you find fulfilling, how to romanticize your life beyond just things that are pink and frilly and girly, like embracing the small moments in life and really feeling gratitude for what you have. And I am just so excited for this little refresh. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. So why do I feel like I need to reinvent myself? Well, to start, I currently feel like I am kind of a stagnant era. I feel like I'm kind of in a slump. Over the last couple of months and even years, basically since the pandemic, which is no excuse, I'm not blaming the pandemic for this, I have just felt like I set all these goals, I have all these dreams, and then a year goes by and I realize I am basically where I started the year as far as achieving my goals and my dreams. I have always had a very toxic relationship with achieving goals. I don't know if that's something that's always been ingrained within me, or it's because I was such a high achiever in high school and in college. I was always doing sports and getting straight A's and trying to maintain a social life and all these things. And I have just found that my relationship with goal setting and with self-improvement is very feast or famine, as in I will either be going 100 miles per hour, like getting 4 hours of sleep a night, editing YouTube videos, like shooting content, driving all over the place, emails, like being crazy, or I am completely burned out, not able to get out of bed, not taking care of myself, eating junk food, not washing my face, and just feeling freaking miserable. And that needs to come to an end. This year for me is going to be a much more intentional, slow process into achieving my goals. I think it's awesome to shoot for the moon, and trust me, I absolutely have huge goals for my future. But what I found about myself, and I think something that keeps a lot of people stuck when it comes to achieving their goals, is they think that if they don't achieve something right away or within like a month, that it's just not gonna happen and it's not worth it for them. And so this might sound a little bit counterintuitive, but I've decided to, instead of going for those crazy goals, which I'm sure you can imagine what they are, we all have those big dreams, is to break them down into much, much smaller pieces that are easily achievable. And that might sound counterintuitive. Like, Caitlin, how am I gonna, have the mansion, have the $1 million, have the dream man if my goals are really small? If every day you have those little itty bitty small wins that are completely achievable and don't lead you to feeling burned out, I personally have found that it builds momentum so that you actually stay on track and you don't get burned out. Something else that I feel a lot of us are probably very guilty of is I am a non-stop dreamer. Yes, I am a Pisces, but I just mean in general. I am constantly consuming social media and seeing other people achieve their dreams and planning and planning and planning and saving things and going on Pinterest and looking at things and being like, that's what I want. This is the life that I want this, I want that, and never actually making my own plan to get there. And I think that this is a trap that is very much a product of social media consumption. Because social media is a highlight reel and there are so many people on it, it's inevitable to feel like you are behind in life. And that is something that I have struggled with a lot. I am 25. I am no way close to my expiration date. I have years and years and decades to achieve my dreams, but I really do feel that there are moments when I'll go on social media and I'll find a creator that I really love, and then all of a sudden I find out that they're 20 and I'm like, this person already has hundreds of thousands of followers and the dream car and they're full-time making content and it's just incredible and they have all these designer bags, and then I feel like, well, why should I even try? Which is ridiculous, because I know people in my life that are, in their 60s and, older in like the second half of life that are, having new dreams and achieving new things. And this mindset that we need to have our dreams achieved early in life is so wild to me, because then, like, what are you supposed to do for the rest of your life? Just sit there in your room full of Birkins and just be like, yep, I did it for like the next 40, 50 years of your life? Like, that's ridiculous. Just because my path or your path does not look like the people that you see on social media or just out and about in the world does not mean that it's not good enough or that you can't achieve what you want. I think that there is a huge problem in our society today where we have become addicted to consuming the accomplishments and the lives of other people opposed to going out there and doing that for ourselves. I will put both hands up in the air and say that I am absolutely guilty of that. I love pinning. I love going on TikTok and Instagram and seeing other people's closets and other people's vacations and just being like, I can't wait to go there. I can't wait to do that. And then just closing my phone, putting my head on the pillow and doing nothing about it. It is quite literally not possible to achieve your own dreams and have your own dream life if you are constantly just watching other people do it for you. You need to be spending that time instead creating that life for yourself. So this is a huge problem that I need to address in order for me to achieve my dream life for myself this year. Because as I mentioned, on one hand, I either am going a million miles an hour towards my dream and burning out, or I'm just scrolling social media mindlessly and watching other people achieve their dreams and not doing anything about it. So this is where I am going to reinvent myself this year. I am going to match together the actual achieving and taking steps towards and like the more masculine energy of going after things with the more feminine, relaxed, like intuitive energy of enjoying the process and not getting burned out. This leads me on to the next thing that I want to talk about, which is manifesting. And before you click off this video, if you are sick of hearing about manifesting, just hold on for a little bit longer. I promise you'll get some value out of this. I know that manifesting is a huge buzzword right now, and I just want to give a little background on my experience with manifesting. Like most other people, I started my journey with manifesting because I discovered the Netflix special / book called The Secret. I first learned about it in college, and I immediately became incredibly obsessed with the idea of manifesting and, you know, getting what I want in life. However, when I first discovered manifesting, I've pretty much always had an on and off sort of relationship with it. You know, I would sort of go through the motions and just, you know, do the visualizations and do the writing in my journal about what I want in life and, you know, writing the goals for the year, but I still would be stuck in the same place that I was before. That's because I realized that manifestation looks a little bit different for everyone, and what works for one person might not actually work for the other person. And I realized what I need to do in order to, you know, actually achieve my manifestations is to combine the sort of spiritual, the belief, the, you know, more woo-woo side of manifesting, like the sitting there and reflecting and meditating side, with the actually taking inspired action side of manifesting. Because before, I would just sit there and I would, you know, I would buy a crystal because it spoke to me, and then I would, you know, before I went to sleep, I would visualize me having the perfect body, and then I would just go through life not actually changing anything about how I was moving through life. There is no one correct way to do manifesting. The correct way to manifest your dreams is whatever works for you. And if this is your first time hearing about manifesting, I'm not going to go into detail about what it is because that's not the purpose of this video, and I am not the expert on manifesting your dreams. I would do your own research on it and find what works best for you as far as how you're going to incorporate manifesting into your life in order to achieve your goals. As I've been reflecting over the last few months about what I'm going to do differently this upcoming year, I realize there's a couple of things that I have not been doing right, or that have not been right for me as far as how I do my manifesting processes and rituals, that are most likely a huge factor in why I'm not achieving my goals. The first thing is that I would, you know, do the manifestations, I would go to sleep and pretend that I was a millionaire and all this stuff, but then the actions that I was taking throughout my day would have such intense limiting beliefs behind them that I wouldn't actually like live that life. Quick example of this is, you know, I would pretend to be a millionaire. I'd tell myself, oh my gosh, I have so much money, I have so much money. Money is not a problem. Money comes easily and often. You know, all those little manifesting, you know, buzz phrases that people like to use to attract money. But then I'd be too scared to look at my bank account to see what was actually in there. So I would, you know, do the little manifesting ritual, but then I would not actually act and behave like someone who had a lot of money, because if I had a lot of money, why would I be so nervous to check on my credit card bill or to check on my bank statement? Another huge mistake that I've been making along my manifesting journey in the past is I would not actually use my intuition and check in with myself along the way. I was approaching manifesting my dreams and going after my dreams as a very check in the box sort of deal, which is fine. You have to, you know, put checks on a checklist in order to get to where you want to go. However, you can't just be going through the motions. Yep, I did my workout today. Yep, I had my smoothie this morning. You need to actually be, you know, feeling, how am I feeling? Am I getting enough rest? Am I in this for the right reasons? There has to be an emotional, sort of spiritual, intuitive part of manifesting that not a lot of people realize when they first start manifesting. They think it's all about just, you know, step 1, step 2, step 3, boom, I've got my dream. You need to be along the way sort of feeling and, you know, believing and checking in with yourself and just having that inner knowing that your dreams are actually happening, and making sure that they're even dreams that you want to be achieving and they're not like someone else's dream. The last mistake that I would make a lot when manifesting is I would set such unbelievably wild goals, like unrealistic goals, which any manifesting coach would tell you that no goal is unrealistic, but let me get there. I would tell myself, okay, I'm gonna be a full-time YouTuber in 6 months. And then I would get too in my head and super overwhelmed and like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to film YouTube videos. I don't have time to do this. Like, this is so crazy. How could I ever achieve this? That instead of actually just like putting my head down and getting to work, I'd be way too in my head about what I was trying to achieve, and then I would just not even get out of bed because I'd be like, oh, well, what I want is impossible. And no amount of wishing on a star or praying that the universe would give me something would even make my dream come to me, because I had already set myself up for failure by being too overwhelmed and trying to cram my schedule with way too much stuff in it, because I'd have to have the dream body and the dream car and the dream job and the dream man and the dream closet within 6 months. And that's just, you know, not to say that nothing is impossible, but you know, there has to be a level of true belief in yourself to get to those dreams, and really packing your schedule and trying to do everything at the same time is not going to get you there. If you're in the same position as me, the first thing you need to do in order to change yourself to the best version of yourself is you need to reflect on what is currently not working now. Are you eating food that makes you feel awful because you just believe that you're that person that always eats junk food? Are you, you know, telling yourself that you're gonna get up at a reasonable time and then immediately giving up as soon as the alarm goes off and snoozing it? Are you surrounded by people that don't actually love and appreciate you for who you are? Are you in a job that you hate? What is it about 2022 or, you know, other experiences in the past that need to change in order for you to get to that best version of yourself? Once you have figured out what is not working for you in the past, I would highly suggest setting a theme for the year. So based on all the things that I just told you about what was not working for me, my 2 themes for the year are being intentional and being consistent. The reason that I have picked those 2 themes for this year is because, like I mentioned before, I am such a huge believer that any dream is possible if you just keep taking those small steps forward in order to achieve them. So in order to be consistent, I am breaking down my big goal, which I'm gonna go ahead and share it. My big goal is for the end of this year, by the end of 2023, I am going to be part-time at my regular 9-to-5 job in order to lean into social media more. So I'm not forcing myself to quit my job when I'm not ready and, you know, I don't have enough cash flow coming in order for me to not be stressed the heck out, you know, trying to make this YouTube thing work. So instead, in order to be able to go part-time at my 9-to-5, which for me is a totally achievable, reasonable thing, my consistency goal is I am going to upload every single Sunday of 2023 without exception on YouTube. That is completely achievable and completely doable. I think this approach is something that everyone should be sort of looking to do when they're trying to achieve their dreams, but maybe they have things that, you know, take up their time, like, you know, I need to have my 9-to-5 in order to pay my bills. There are ways to get the dream body, you know, have the money in the bank account, you know, have the friendships, have whatever it is that you want in your life if you take your big dream and you break it down into little goals. So, you know, another big dream of mine for this year, for 2023, is that I want to have a certain amount of money in my bank account. Okay, how am I gonna get there? I'm not gonna, you know, pray and wish and hope that my YouTube channel is gonna blow up overnight. I mean, I know it's going to, because I'm going to be consistent this year, but instead of, you know, hoping I win the lottery, okay, this is my little savings goal for each month. If I save this amount each month, then I will feel really confident about, you know, the amount of money that I have in my bank account at the end of the year. I'm not gonna, you know, kill myself and work 6 jobs and, you know, babysit and dog walk and, you know, not buy a single thing in order to feel like I've got that financial goal. That's just one example for you. It might be losing the weight. It might be, you know, having your dream home, having your dream space around you. It could be whatever you want, but take that goal and break it down into actual achievable things. So, you know, I have my monthly savings goal in order to hit my yearly savings goal. Let's break that down further. What do I need to be saving each week in order to hit that monthly goal? Okay, so in order to save that money each week, what should my spending habits be for each week? What should my spending habits be for each day? What is my budget? How am I going to track my finances in a way that is, you know, reasonable? It's not taking up all of my time. I'm not obsessing over it. You know, just basic things like that. You can achieve whatever you want with just little steps. Whether it's 30 minutes of walking each day, you know, that is gonna get you to start the journey to get that dream body, whatever it is. The second big thing that I'm gonna focus on this year that I'm gonna do differently in order to achieve my goals is to do the inner work, is to go inside and check in with myself. monitor my thoughts. Like I said before, I have a lot of limiting beliefs. I think most of us have limiting beliefs in our lives, whether it's I'm fat, or I'm not pretty, or, you know, I'll never have the dream home that I really want, I can't travel, it's too expensive. I'm gonna really work with myself to figure out where those beliefs come from and dismantle them so that they stop holding me back. Because limiting beliefs are really sneaky. I didn't really learn about them too much until this year. I kind of read about them and I was like, I don't have limiting beliefs, I think I'm great. But then I would, you know, this is a little bit sad, I would, you know, cry myself to sleep at night about being single or about being in an unhappy relationship, or I would not even try to book any travels because I would tell myself, oh, well, I can't afford to travel, it's too expensive. You know, okay, why do I feel that way? Because I have money in the bank, I can absolutely travel. Why do I tell myself that I can't buy the dream shoes because they're out of my budget, when actually if I run the numbers, I can totally buy the dream shoes. There'll be a video on that next week. I just bought like my dream pair of shoes. I'm super excited about them. Another example is that, you know, when I tell other people in my life, whether it's, you know, friends, family, coworkers, that I, you know, do YouTube, I typically will find myself saying, oh yeah, you know, I do social media, it's not, you know, that serious, like I make a couple extra bucks every month from it. How am I ever gonna become a full-time YouTuber if I'm telling the people in my life that I care about that I don't take it seriously? What is gonna motivate me to actually take it seriously and be like, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, that's my second job? We all have these beliefs that, you know, maybe it's the way that we speak to other people, or just like the quick little thought that we have in our head of, oh, I can't afford that, that really hold us back. And so another thing that I'm gonna be incorporating into my life this year is, whether it's through meditation or just, you know, sitting and reflecting with myself, which is essentially meditation, or stopping myself in the moment that I feel that thought coming on and being like, why? Why am I having this thought? And moving through it in order to actually get to my dream life. Something that I'm very excited to be incorporating into my life this year is living the soft life. And it is another buzzword along with manifestation that has been popping up a lot on social media lately. But when I actually took the chance to look into it more, I realized this is something that sounds awesome. I'm not the soft life expert. I'm not an expert on any of these things that I'm talking about. I would highly recommend, you know, doing your own research on what the soft life means, but my understanding of the soft life is moving through life with a more feminine mindset, more feminine energy, enjoying the little luxuries in life, enjoying whether it's, you know, getting your nails done or making a really wholesome meal that really fulfills you, or taking time to actually clean your space, or taking time to reflect, or, you know, going for a walk in nature, just really enjoying the little things, the little luxuries in life. Because there's no point in just going super hard and fast towards your dreams and then looking back after a year is over and realizing you have no idea what you did that year. There's no like fun memories or beautiful experiences for you to remember because you are so focused and so driven in a direction that you're not like living in the present moment. And so that's how I'm interpreting the soft life for this year. I want to wake up and make my bed and feel grateful for it and move my body, and even if it's like, you know, I feel bloated, I don't feel super great about myself, fuel my body, like enjoy making food, enjoy, you know, a beautiful sunset on my drive home from my 9 to 5, even though I don't want to be working that 9 to 5, enjoying my coworkers, enjoying just the little things, you know, putting on an outfit that makes me feel super cute. That is something that I'm going to be incorporating more this year, because I feel like if you move through life that way, you're kind of already living the dream life. And so I won't feel like, oh, I'll be happy once I have, you know, the dream bag. No, I'm already happy now. I'm already grateful and appreciating the small moments in my life now. So I think that's something that if you are unfamiliar with the soft life, there are a ton of YouTubers that I'm actually going to recommend at the end of this video and other resources that I think will really help you to learn about it more. I would highly encourage learning about it. I have just sort of learned about it this year and I can't wait to incorporate it more into my life. I'm going to be focusing on quality living, on, you know, that's part of being intentional with my time, being intentional with what I put into my body, being intentional with what I wear and the people that I bring into my life and the experiences that I choose to have. I really do think that that intentionality combined with the, you know, actually consistent achievable goals is just going to be such a transformative force in my life and your life if you choose to go on this journey with me. It is so important to act like the dream version of yourself now. And that sounds kind of crazy because you're like, well, Caitlin, like I can't book the first class ticket to Fiji happy, and I can't, you know, buy the, I don't know, Ferrari right now because I can't. That's fine. I totally understand, but there's smaller ways that you can move through your life that are like the dream version of yourself. For example, when I was putting together this outfit for this video, I was like, oh, I don't know, this is pretty extra. Like, I don't know, people are probably gonna judge me. Like, I've got like this, you know, big poofy crown headband on, and who am I, like sitting on my parents' couch in the loft in this, like, you know, French girl outfit. Stop that. Like, I love this outfit. I'm looking into the viewfinder right now and I feel amazing. I feel beautiful. I feel confident. I wish I could just, you know, go show everyone this outfit, which I'm gonna film some Instagram content in it. So like I said, follow me over on my Instagram if you want to see more of my style. But that is an example of, okay, sure, I don't have the Birkin, I don't have the Chanel classic flap, but look at this outfit. These are things, this sweater was thrifted. You know, my pants that I have on are from ASOS. They're like 6 years old. This headband is from Amazon, but still, like, I feel like the dream version of myself. I feel amazing. I made a homemade, you know, pasta salad with vegetables and all these things for lunch today. And as I was making it, I was like, wow, like, this is amazing. This is a delicious salad. It is nourishing. I feel good. You know, just small things like that. Whether it's, hey, I'm gonna wake up an extra 5 minutes early so that I can enjoy my coffee and just sit there and not have my phone with me and just enjoy that moment. Isn't that how the dream version of yourself would go through her life? You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many ways to feel like you've got your dream now, and I need to remind myself of that. And I think that anyone who is watching this video and feels the same way, you need to remind yourself of that. Just because you don't have the dream apartment doesn't mean that you can't have, you know, beautiful bed linens and, you know, beautiful artwork that you thrifted on the wall that you just feel so happy to look at every day. That is the dream, is it not? To feel as you're moving through your life like you're just so grateful and happy for all these things that you have. Some other little smaller things that I'm incorporating into this journey is I have started doing a few more affirmations. I used to think that affirmations were kind of silly. If you're not familiar with affirmations, it's like words and phrases that you kind of tell yourself or repeat to yourself in order to really feel that way. I used to think, like, what am I just gonna look in the mirror and be like, oh, I'm so beautiful, I'm so beautiful, when like I'm breaking out like crazy, or, you know, I feel really bloated, or I haven't put on self tanner in months, and what, am I just gonna sit there and magically transform into like Kendall Jenner just because I'm looking in the mirror and telling myself I'm beautiful? However, I've actually kind of gone a 180 on that perspective. I've done a lot of sort of listening to affirmations, whether it's on podcasts or other YouTubers. So I'm gonna again mention those folks at the end. Like, I'm gonna have a little resources section of this video. But if you're interested in doing affirmations and you're curious about them, or even if you think they're kind of silly, I would start doing it. I think that you just have to find one that really resonates with you. Last night, for example, as a way to start my new life over, I was like, okay, you know, I gotta really actually look at my budget, what I spent in December, what I made in December, what I have left over. And I kept procrastinating it because I was like, no, like, I'm just too scared. I know I spent a lot of money in December because it was like holiday season and blah, blah, blah. And so as I was going through my budget, you know, item by item, what I was spending, what I was making, I am wealthy. I have money. I have plenty of money. Money is, you know, in my life. Money comes to me often. I'm surrounded by money. I had way more money left over at the end of this month than I thought I did. Like, way more money than I thought I did. And that was just such a gratifying moment. And I'm not saying that, oh, well, just because I told myself I'm rich, I magically had all this money. What it did is it gave me the courage to actually look at my bank statement and my credit card statements and my budget and do my budget, which I have not done in months. And it gave me the courage to do that. And so I realized by the end of it, wait, I'm not afraid of my money anymore. And I actually had like 4 figures of extra money after I had done my savings and my bills and all of that, that I just chose to have a little fun with some of it and put the rest away into next month. Like, that is so awesome. That is the power of affirmations. Another thing that I'm gonna incorporate more into this year is I'm going to continue learning. I'm gonna keep, you know, learning more about this self-improvement journey, and I'm gonna be learning about different things, whether it's, you know, health or fitness, nutrition, goal setting. I have books and things that I'm gonna mention at the end that I either have already read or I'm planning on reading this year to keep learning more. Because something that I've noticed is when I get stuck in my manifesting journey and think, oh, well, this approach isn't isn't working, this isn't gonna happen for me because this isn't working. If I then come across a creator or a podcast or a book or a Pinterest quote or something that like sort of reframes my thinking and teaches me something, I am way more likely to get out of that funk and, you know, change things up and keep going towards my goals and my dreams, maybe just from a slightly different angle, but, you know, continuing that forward progress without just giving up. So I've started actually implementing like 30 minutes of reading before bed, and I used to think, oh, I don't have time to read, I don't have time to read. It actually helps me fall asleep, and, you know, it kind of, my subconscious will sort of like process the things that I read while I'm sleeping, and then I wake up the next morning feeling like amazing. So I would highly recommend, you know, if you're in the same boat as me, you know, keep learning about self-improvement and feminine energy and manifesting and all of these awesome things, and it's just, you can't lose by continuing to learn. So I'm gonna just keep referencing this list on my phone because I don't remember it off the top of my head, but now I want to get into some resources along this journey that have really helped me out and that I think you really should check out if you want to, you know, do this own journey for yourself. So first thing I want to talk about is some creators here on YouTube and on Instagram, but I feel like YouTube is a better platform for talking about this stuff, which is why this video is so long. But some creators that I have found over the last couple months, and even that I've been following for longer than that are really awesome for this sort of content is Montel B. I think that's her last name is B. She's a YouTuber from the UK that I only discovered like 3 months ago, but she does a lot of like sort of self-improvement, goal setting content, which I have really, really loved. Also the Glow Up Secrets, aka I think her name's Alicia Gogan. I discovered her literally the same day that I discovered Montel. It was so crazy. I think YouTube just knew that I needed this like algorithm shift in order to like move over to self-improvement YouTube. And so anyways, Alicia Gogan, I know she's really big on TikTok too, but she's awesome because she kind of is like almost like a tough love sort of YouTuber. Like she really dives into topics like shadow work and, you know, feminine energy and healing your feminine, and like sometimes her videos will start off kind of like, this is why you're not achieving your goals, and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, what? And then, you know, she drops like hard truths on you that are like, okay, thank you. It feels like you're talking to like an older sister or friend who is just like slapping you politely, lovingly, and just like, wake up, this is like what you need to do. And you're like, okay, yes ma'am. I really love her content. Also Lynette Adkins, I discovered like within a week of everyone else that I've already talked about. She is a little bit more of like an intuitive sort of calming presence. Whenever she posts, like I get so excited to just like chill with her because she kind of sits down and just is very like reflective. I don't really know how to explain her because she is just like no one else that I've experienced on this platform. I would highly recommend checking her out. She also talks a lot about like spirituality on her channel. I'm definitely not giving her like the credit that she deserves. She really is like this super cool self-made YouTuber, and I just can't get enough of her. She is just very like I said, intuitive and like really teaching me how to sort of reflect and relax and sink into my inner self and still go after what I want. I don't know. She just, seriously, go check her out. Go check out all these ladies. Another girl on YouTube that I am totally obsessed with, her name is Jills. I think her last name is Garin. I could be pronouncing that wrong. I discovered her actually probably like a year ago, but she dives a lot more into femininity. She still talks about goal setting and self-improvement and all those things, but her real overarching theme over all of her videos is femininity, whether it's, you know, feminine energy, feminine archetypes, and just how to really use your femininity to your advantage and make it a superpower. And she is just incredible. When I first discovered her, I was very much in my masculine energy of like doing and going and just pushing, and then when I found her, I just really started to learn about how powerful being a woman is, and she has just totally changed my life along with all these other YouTubers. The last one I want to mention, she is not really at all like a self-improvement YouTuber. She does not talk about goals and dreams and hopes and all of that. I'm talking about Desi, Darling Desi, and something that I really like about her is she is someone who really romanticizes every element of her life. Like that's kind of how she started blowing up. I think she first started getting really popular in like 2020, which is when I found her, because she was really into like the cottagecore thing. She still does a lot of posts about that, but something that I really love watching her videos for and getting inspiration is I really like the fact that she just finds every moment in her life to be so special and amazing and incredible, and it's super inspiring. Like, she romanticizes every season, and that's something that I'm going to be incorporating into my life, so I would highly recommend checking her out if that's something you're interested in. The last thing that I want to talk about are books, and I'm just going to give brief summaries of these because I'm also going to be linking them all on Amazon down below. And you know, on Amazon there's like really great pages that show what the books are about. So anyway, the first book that I'm going to talk about is The Secret, because obviously I already mentioned this book. If you have never really thought about manifesting, or you have not really gotten introduced to manifesting, it is a great place to start. It is very baseline manifesting, you know, gratitudes and, you know, believing in yourself and all this stuff. I'm definitely not making it sound as exciting as it is, but if you are going to start your manifesting journey, start with that book without a doubt. It is a very easy read. I will say sometimes it does get very like woo-woo, and it used to lose me a little bit in the beginning because I'd be like, this is giving me like cult vibes, but it's really not. If you keep reading it and just sort of interpreting it in whatever way works best for you, it really is a very powerful book. If you don't feel like reading it, there is a documentary, I guess, of The Secret, which is on Netflix, and it's not as in-depth as the book, but it's like a really great, if you have just really want to start at square one, like no experience with manifesting, maybe watch the Netflix one first and then read the book, but just really great foundation for manifesting practices. The next book is called Manifest, and it really blew up this year, but it is almost like The Secret, but more in depth and a bit less like spiritual and woo-woo. It's really cool because her book is kind of broken down into what I believe is like a 5-step process for how to really do manifesting in your life in sort of 5 steps. And it took me longer to get through this book than it took me to get through The Secret, because some pages I had to read over and over again because she would pack so much helpful information into one page that I'd like kind of skim it and then be like, wait, I don't think I got everything out of that I should have, and then like read it again. So it takes a little bit longer to get through, but I would kind of do like 1 chapter per month. And I felt like it really helped me on certain things, like limiting beliefs is a big one that she talks about. Just definitely go check out that book. I know it's very popular right now, and she has more books coming out because it has just like been such a bestseller. So highly recommend that. It's a bit more of like a sexy, stylish way to look at manifesting. It's just a really good book. Another thing that I want to give a quick shout out to is the Artist of Life workbook, and this is a little bit more personal, so I'm not going to go too in depth with it. There's a creator here on YouTube named Lavender. I forget what her name is. I think it might be Eileen. I forgot to mention her in my YouTubers section. She is also like one of the OG YouTubers for manifestation and talking about goal setting and stuff. She does a lot of books and journals on her website. Again, I'll link it all down below, but she has this one journal called the Artist of Life workbook, which is amazing for, you know, setting your big goals, breaking them down into month, breaking them down into week, breaking them down into your daily habits. Without that book, I would be totally lost as far as my goal setting, because it works really well for me. If you don't need a very in-depth, like almost hand-holding book to like walk you through what are your goals, how are you going to break them down, here's what you're going to do today in order to get there, maybe you don't need this book. But if you're someone who likes to write in journals and needs to have things like written out in order to see them and achieve them, go get that book. I know it's a little bit more expensive for a journal. I don't remember how much it is. Just click on the link down below to check it out, but it is worth every penny. I have bought one for the last 3 years, and I was kind of going through the motions the last couple of years that I bought them and not getting out of it what I really could, because it's such a beautiful journal as far as just really getting you to focus on what do you need to do today and right now to get to your end goal for the end of the year. Can't speak highly enough about that book. It's not the book's fault that I didn't achieve my goals the last couple of years. It's because I was just, like I said, going through the motions and writing stuff down. But this year, as I've been filling out that journal and really setting my intentions, like I just know so strongly that it is an invaluable tool that's going to help me get there. So highly recommend it. Another book that I just started is called Atomic Habits. I think it might be one of the best self-help books I've ever read. I'm only like 1 or 2 chapters in, but really the basis of this book is about how small habits that you do throughout your day are completely transformative in your life, which I have been beating a dead horse here. That's an awful saying. I've been beating a dead horse here about that, you know, throughout this whole video, the small habits that will really propel you to success. But this book is just, it says such like basic simple things, which I know was a critique of this book, is that it's a little bit like, of course, yeah, duh, obviously, some of the concepts that it introduces, but it introduces it in a way that is inspiring instead of just being like, if you do small habits over time, you'll get to your goals. It'll instead phrase that sentiment in a way that just really makes you feel like, I've got this, I can do this. And it is such a transformative book. That book has already inspired me to get out of bed as soon as my alarm goes off, work out every single day, even if it's just like stretching. It has just been so transformative. Like, I have not skipped my skincare routine, which I've been really bad about lately, since I started doing this book. Like, it just really, you know, shows you the best version of yourself. It's like just 1% away, 1% away. I would highly recommend it if you find like you're in a slump and like your routines are kind of lacking. It is an excellent book for getting back on track with your routines. 2 books that are actually on the way, so I haven't read yet, but I will definitely let you know how I feel about them as the year goes on, are The 4-Hour Workweek and Rich as F. So The 4-Hour Workweek, I know, is an incredibly popular book. My understanding of it is it's all about how to sort of work smarter, not harder, in order to achieve your goals. And I've heard mixed reviews about it, but it is a classic. People talk about it all the time. So I will be reading that book. If you've read it, let me know what you think about it. And also Rich as F is a book that I think I was recommended by Jules Guerin, maybe. Apparently this book is all about, you know, how to have that abundance mindset and just bring money into your life, so much money that you don't even know what to do with it. So I'm really excited to read those 2 books. The last thing that I want to mention is that I actually made a vision board this year, and I will put it up here on the screen. It is a electronic vision board. In the past, I have made physical vision boards, like where I would, like, you know, print out pieces of paper and like stick them onto a cork board and call that my vision board, but I was always kind of like too embarrassed to put it at the forefront of my house, because like when people walk into your house or your room or wherever you are and they see this vision board, they might start being like, what is that? And like it feels kind of like dismissive and not like it's something that you really proudly want to have on display. And I do believe in the power of, you know, creating a vision board so you can see your dreams in front of you and motivate you. So that's why I decided this year to make it my desktop background. So all I did is I just like opened Keynote on my laptop, and then I just got a bunch of pictures from Pinterest that reflect, you know, the year ahead. Not like my big goals like in life, which, you know, I still have, but I really want to focus on specifically this year. I want to take my goals 1 year at a time, and I think that's something really powerful that a vision board can help you with, is if you put it somewhere every day where you're proud of it and you see it all the time, it's like, okay, in that moment where I don't want to, you know, edit the YouTube video because I'm tired, I'll open up my laptop and look at the vision board and be like, see that girl on my vision board? She is literally traveling and she's living her best life, creating content for her audience that she really loves. I'm that girl, and I'm gonna edit this YouTube video right now. So it sounds silly, but just a really helpful extra little thing that's kind of a resource that I would highly recommend doing if you have not done one before. Okay guys, that brings me to the end of this video. I have never felt so fired up and passionate about a video in my entire life. I really hope that you know, found something helpful out of this. I hope that you know, go on your own journey this year, whether it's, you know, small steps to get to your goals, or you're already that girl and you're already so happy with your life, but maybe it just helped you think about a couple other elements of living that dream life that maybe you hadn't thought about before. As I mentioned in the intro, my channel is not going to suddenly switch over to becoming only self-improvement, only manifesting, only mindset. I'm still going to be doing fashion. For example, my next video, I'm pretty sure, is going to be, you know, how I manifested my dream pair of shoes. I'm super excited about that video. So stay tuned for all things fashion, beauty, femininity, mindset, goal achieving, living our best life. Follow me over on my Instagram if you have not already, because I will be posting every other day on there. That is part of my consistency goal, every other day on Instagram. And I'm also gonna be posting on TikTok more. So if you're not an Instagram person, I will be on TikTok as well. You know, that's part of my social media strategy for the year. I'm finally gonna embrace TikTok because it's gonna help me get to my dream of being part-time YouTuber, part-time 9-to-5 girl. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.